This is Route of the Week, presented to you by, we don't have a sponsor yet, but they got to go with Garrett Wilson and Jalen Ramsey. Look at the little out, up, yadow, sniper, two. Got him. The only thing that I would say I would nitpick with Garrett Wilson is, hey, big dog, can we catch this pass and stay in bounds and take it to the easy? Huh? Can we?
Steve, what took him out of bounds?
Maybe all those G-forces when he put his foot in the ground on the out and up, to be able to slow down a little bit to catch it. It's like, But it was a great toe tap swag. Toot, got 2 feet in. But here's the thing that a lot of people don't want to admit, don't want to say. Give me the other route as well that was before that kind of puts Jalen in this position that he's putting his derriere to the sideline, keeping everything in front of him, because Garrett Wilson does a fantastic job of creating free access. When I talk about creating free access, we're getting close to the draft. So we're going to start breaking down some things and showing you the why, the how. And when you can create free access, which means you're pressing, putting bricks on the house, not taking them back. Taking them back would be taking this step backwards. That's when you give the advantage to the DB. But when you give them a 2-step rocker, like that initiates going forward. Pressing the corner, letting the corner know, hey, I'm going forward. I'm going to press you. The one thing, though, I found why he was successful against Jalen on this particular route is Jalen was a little bit outside of his framework. And when you're outside of your framework, you naturally have to adjust by getting inside of your framework. And then if you're quick jamming as well, that simultaneously is going to make you adjust into being a millisecond, a hair, which I don't have, a little bit too slow. So look, here we go. Look, boop, go back, go. Pause right there. Pause. Go back. Go. Now, sometimes you just got some things that other folks don't have. You know what that's called, James? God-given ability.
That's traits, yeah.
And so some of those traits you can't get off on. You can't get a shot. You can't get in your protein shake. You can't get it in a pill. Some of it just get it called gene pool, okay? And so watch Jalen outside his framework. Jalen gets outside his framework. However, when you're the guy that knows where he's going and a quick just choo-choo, 2 rocket step, goes over, Jalen tries to grab him, doesn't get too much separation.
He gets a little air.
Now he's in the trail technique. Now why this is good is Garrett Wilson does not straighten up. If you straighten up, that gives Ramsey an opportunity. That's what Ramsey thought he was going to straighten up, and that's why he was going to go undercut him. But he keeps going. Great route.
Steve, let me ask you about Garrett, because I feel like when I talk to people around the league, this is one of the most talented wide receivers in football.
Yes.
One of the most complete skill sets at the wide receiver position. I think I said on our show before, I was in the locker room in Houston early in the season.
Oh, yeah, it was CJ.
We were talking about Marvin Harrison Jr., and CJ's like, of all the guys I played with, which Jackson Smith-Njigba, top 10 receiver this year. You got Marvin Harrison Jr., who's most people want to put a gold jacket on him already, just starting in his NFL career. Mm-hmm. Chris Olave down in New Orleans. All of these guys have played with CJ, and he's like, Garrett's the best out of all of them. Like, is this an early career that maybe doesn't have the production and the numbers that the caliber of player probably should be putting up because of his situation that he has been put through in the early part of his career?
Yes, his situation has put him through some things statistically that people are missing out on seeing how good of a player he could be.
Okay.
However, as the situation improves or whatever happens with his contract, if he decides to stay or move on, he's also playing with a quarterback, Aaron Rodgers, who's played with a number of guys who's giving him answers to the test that, one, is unfair. Whether you like Aaron Rodgers or not, Aaron Rodgers is experienced. Aaron Rodgers knows how and exactly the way he likes to see a receiver run the route. And because you have a quarterback that can communicate that, give you examples and walk you through it, that allows you to have some unfair advantages, dialogue, and insider trader secrets that you want to have with whomever your next quarterback will be, because now your quarterback who's thinking, hey, I really would love, oh snap, him to run the route just like Garrett Wilson did. When you beat him off at the line and you don't straighten up, you just keep going at the angle. And I see that they're running a TE switch. And so that now they have confused the offensive line. So there's a free rusher and the quarterback is hoping and waiting for anybody to get open because he's about to get hit. You have that advantage. And so this experience that you have Garrett Wilson, who is running routes and getting routes against top-tier corners, top-tier defenses, and then also getting top-tier knowledge from a Hall of Fame quarterback that goes in his notebook, that you go, I will be better. And here's what I mean. This is totally off the cuff. I got to go into the vault to show you.
I like this.
So here's my...
What is happening? Here's the deal, people. All season long, you can win up to 1,000 times your cash. Only on Underdog. Pick higher or lower on your favorite player, and you can join the millions of fans winning millions this season. Sign up today using promo code UD89, and you'll get a free pick as part of your first cash entry, plus $1,000 in bonus cash. Again, promo code UD89 to cash in on every touchdown this season, only on Underdog.
So you see what that says, right? That says Ravens.
Okay.
But look what's in here. Season 1 book. And these are all of my notes that I handwrite on the plays. And I say, okay, here's a play right here. Now, somebody might get mad. Gun, trade right, 3 eagle, burst. Z has a hammer route, 10 yards. Reno, which is an arrow combination with X, has a arrow route. The zebra has a corner and Y has a Reno. But then I go, Y motion double right. Man, my handwriting was bad back there. And my eyesight is bad. I don't even know. I think that's Cherokee 351 cut, halfback trouble. Solo right zoom, pass 361, cracker, U post through. Z outside, smash 8 yards, X in slot, 10-yard curl. Like I handwritten all of those, right? So, and then here's my different iPads from the different teams with access still to the playbooks, right?
Oh.
Both of them, Panthers.
I'm surprised some of these pages are still in the books.
Oh, some of them are raggedy, right? And so it's like, oh, here's this one right here. Look at this one. 2018 Pro Bowl offense.
That's sweet.
Regular runs, pass, red right flex, 324 Omaha /Thunder/smoke. And it has all the routes. Omaha, 12-yard split. But if you go to a different offense, Omaha's a quick out.
So let me ask you this, Steve. In some of the handwritten stuff that's in there, how much of it is kind of what you're saying in Garrett Wilson's case, to where you're hanging out with guys that have been in the league for a long time and you jotted something down because of veteran player X, right? Or quarterback or whatever, that adds to the knowledge and adds to the girth of that playbook. You know what I'm saying? Because this is maybe a year that obviously wins and losses are not going the way the Jets want it to go. It's not going the way Garrett Wilson wants it to go. But for his career and for his future, how much, you know what I mean? How much is added by, Devontae said this, and I can add that in the margin.
Well, the biggest thing is hopefully this young man is writing it down, because some of this knowledge and some of the things that are said so casually and talked about at lunch, at snack, in the meeting rooms.
Miss Snack.
That their football knowledge they're talking about football like they're talking about, oh, yeah, I've been to I've been to Australia. It's so casual and so nonchalant.
Australia. Yeah.
That you just are missing things, right? You're missing little small nuggets.
Better be that sponge for those nuggets.
And so it's like you sit there and you just write down the small things that when, for me, one of the best things I learned from was, and still to this day, and people are always shocked when I say it, is Vinny Testaverde. I talk about Vinny Testaverde like I played with Vinny Testaverde for 15 years. And what I learned from Vinny Testaverde was something so incredible. I've said it on my Most Interesting Job show. I said it when I was in New York when I shot Being a Coach for a Day. And I was talking about running routes. And someone in the comments has said, Steve said something so simple. These guys must be laughing at him. Well, let me restate it again so you can understand the context and where it came from, so I can give you the history of why I was able to play 16 years primarily outside, not in the slot. I didn't play in the slot till I got older. I played outside, stationary stand, no motion. Here's what Vinny Testaverde said, and it's a great story. Vinny Testaverde comes in to the Carolina Panthers because Jake Delhomme, I think it's Tommy John, he hurts his elbow, so he's out for the season. And so it's out of the Carolina Panthers and the Arizona Cardinals that year who needed a quarterback. And we get 42-year-old Vinny Testaverde who comes in on a Wednesday morning, fresh off the plane from Florida.
Okay.
Vinny had been sitting on the couch, we thought. Vinny comes in off the plane Wednesday morning, just benches 250 pounds. He needs to get him a workout in. 42 years old.
Yeah.
So we're going and playing in some games, and I run some routes, and then he's like, you're too fast. You need to do this. You need to do that. And so I'm looking at Vinny like, first of all, bro, what do you mean I'm too fast?
Damn right.
He comes in a wide receiver room because he knows I'm in there. I guess he had been looking for me. Vinny goes, bro, I got to teach you something. I'm like, all right. He says, I've been around a lot of guys, Lavernius Cole, Keyshawn Johnson. Mm-hmm. But one of the names he admits, who I'm a huge fan of, is Wayne Corbett.
Wayne Corbett.
I loved me some Wayne Corbett because I saw myself as Wayne Corbett. The undersized, the guy you don't really believe that could play ball. So I go, and he says, Steve, this is what you need to do. He said, every route you run, I don't care how you do it. If it's an inside route, you must finish on the inside. If it's an outside route, out-breaking route, post corner, come back, you must finish on the outside. When he told me that, and I tell guys this today, when we do our little workout sessions, when I have behind closed doors, I tell guys this, and they kind of look at me like people in the comments will say, they go, that's so simple. Yes, it's so simple. And yet, there's so many guys who don't do it. Whatever the route is, you must finish on that route. Outside route, finish on the outside. Inside route, finish on the inside. Because guess where the ball should be going? To the inside or to the outside. Mm-hmm. And so after that was a point in my career where we weren't very good, but I got some knowledge from a guy who played with some outstanding receivers that I deemed hell of a football players that I believe I can learn something from. And ever since then, Vinny Testaverde is literally like the number 3 guy on my list of quarterbacks to ever play because he didn't give me athleticism. He gave me something that I believe as a believer that you need to have. He taught me how to fish. And when you teach a young man how to fish, he's able to provide for his family and change generational things for days and years to come. And that's what he's been able to do. Because of that, I've been able to provide for my family. All of my kids don't have to run, jump, or catch to go to college because what Vinny has given me. And so for me, that's what this game is about. That's why I love breaking down wide receivers, because I learned how to look at the game of why a guy wins or why a guy loses in the National Football League. And so That's the purpose of why Route of the Week is so important. Because it's not just saying why it was a cool catch. It was why and how that young man got there. And that's the part that you need to learn, and that's what I talk about, mastering your craft.